Speaking of thermonuclear drops, here's a tweet from Elon Musk. This is from over the weekend, and yes, it has happened. The split second court opens on Monday. X Corp will be filing a thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters and all those who colluded in this fraudulent attack on our company. All right, pretty good. And obviously, you're seeing a whole bunch there. Here's a bit of the statement. This week, Media Matters for America posted a story that completely misrepresented the real user experience on X in another attempt to undermine freedom of speech and mislead advertisers. Above everything, including profit, X works to protect the public's right to free speech. But for speech to be truly free, we must also have freedom to see or hear things that some people may consider objectionable. We believe that everyone has the right to make up their own minds about what to read, watch, or listen to, because that's the power of freedom of speech. Despite our clear and consistent positions, X has seen a number of attacks from activist groups like Media Matters and legacy media outlets who seek to undermine freedom of expression on our platform because they perceive it as a threat to their ideological narrative and those of their financial supporters. These groups try to use their influence to attack our revenue streams by deceiving advertisers on X. Here are the facts on Media Matters research. To manipulate the public and advertisers, Media Matters created an alternate account and curated the posts and advertising appearing on the account's timeline to misinform advertisers about the placement of their posts. These contrived experiences could be applied to any platform. Once they curated their feed, they repeatedly refreshed their timelines to find a rare instance of ads serving next to the content they chose to follow. Our logs indicate that they forced a scenario resulting in 13 times the number of ads served compared to the median ads served to an X user. Of the 5.5 billion ad impressions on X that day, less than 50 total ad impressions were served against all of the organic content featured in the Media Matters article. For one brand showcased in the article, one of its ads ran adjacent to a post 2 times, and that ad was seen in that setting by only 2 users, one of which was the author of the Media Matters article. For another brand showcased in the article, 2 of its ads served adjacent to 2 posts 3 times, and that ad was only seen in that setting by 1 user, the author of the Media Matters article. We're almost there, guys. Media Matters article also highlights 9 posts they believe should not be allowed on X. Upon evaluation, only 1 of the 9 organic posts featured in the article violated our content policy, and we've taken action under our freedom of speech, not reach enforcement approach. Here's a summary on all of this. X will protect the public's right to free expression. We will not allow agenda-driven activists or even our own profits to deter our vision. Everyone has a choice on X. Users and brands controls on X are superior to a year ago. Data wins over allegations. Media Matters does not reflect the user experience on X. As we've seen in some parts of the world, when free expression is taken away, it is very dangerous and hard to get back. That's why the people who came before us fought so hard to protect. Without freedom of speech, we lose the checks and balances critical to a thriving democracy. We defend our individual rights as if our lives and our flourishing society depend on it. If you're really in on protecting free speech, then we all need to protect it completely. Stand with X in order to protect free speech. Ladies and gentlemen, is it obvious to you who the good guys and bad guys are right now? Like, it's pretty obvious, right? Like, Elon Musk bought this thing for $44 billion. It is purging money. He is losing every day. He is losing, I don't know what he's losing every day. Like, it literally could be millions of dollars every day. The code was screwed up. He had activists working there. They had government agents working there. Even right now, I'm fairly certain if you talk to him today, he would say he's not exactly sure how many bad actors are still at the company right now. But is it not fairly obvious after COVID, after Hunter Biden laptop, after election stuff, after January 6th, after all of the stuff, isn't it fairly obvious that this guy bought this thing to just make sure a few more of us would be able to see what the truth is and get our ideas out there? Even if you were only to look, if you remove all of the specifics that I just mentioned, all those incidences, even if you were only to look at what has happened since October 7th, or the horrific incidences, the horrific attacks of October 7th, Twitter was the main place that they were shared, right? Would you have left it up to Facebook or YouTube or elsewhere to make sure that people would have been able to see the horrific attacks that Hamas perpetrated? No, of course, Twitter allowed for that. That is what this is all about right now. The fight that is happening right now is a fight for us to have any ability to know what is true. It is getting harder and harder. It's getting harder, not only for you guys, it's getting harder for me. We are being manipulated in ways we cannot imagine, but we must go on offense. And that's why I dedicated today's show to this. It is not to say that I agree with Elon Musk on everything or he's right about everything. But he's going on offense, and we have to defend the people who will put their butts on the line. The guy doesn't have to do this. He could get on a rocket today and go to Mars. That's pretty cool. I might join him on that if possible. But if they are going to relentlessly attack us and relentlessly attack everything that is held dear to us, then we must attack them back. And actually, that is what's happening right now in Texas. Another tweet from Colin Rugg, just moments after X launched a thermonuclear lawsuit against left-wing Media Matters, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced an investigation into Media Matters for fraudulent activity. This is what holding the media accountable looks like. The Office of the Attorney General is opening an investigation into Media Matters for potential fraudulent activity, the letter said. We are examining the issue closely to ensure that the public has not been deceived by the schemes of radical left-wing organizations who would like nothing more than to limit freedom by reducing participation in the public square, Attorney General Paxton said. This is big.